to ensure that we have consistency across the board. So those of you who've heard this before, just humor me. We are delighted to have Dr. Klincar. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, ma'am, but I usually use Dr. Tom. So.
Okay.
It's up to you, President.
All right. Well, thank you. Join us today for this Chancellor Public Forum. Let me take a minute to explain all of the guidelines for the public forums. Before we formally welcome Dr. Klincar, Dr. Tom, to St. Louis Community College, I will review the ground rules. Number 1, we will ask the candidate to provide brief opening remarks, 3 to 5 minutes. Secondly, we have 3 general questions that have been prepared to help facilitate the session. I will ask each question and allow the candidate to respond. We have monitors in the room who will hand out cards for you to write in your questions. Do you have those? Do you have the cards? All right. Tony has them. Tony and Chuck will collect them. We'll collect those cards throughout the forum, so you don't have to wait until the end. If you have a question, just raise your hand and they'll collect it and it will be given to me. 5 minutes before the end of the session, we will ask the candidate to provide closing remarks. Now, when you entered the room, you were given a public forum comment card, sheet under the screen. Please complete that before you leave the room. We will not accept those forms outside of the room once the form has completed. They will be placed in an envelope, sealed, and delivered to the Board of Trustees to be considered in their deliberations. We thank all of you for being here this morning, and let us begin. You have exactly 50 minutes in this session, so we want to use that time wisely. Dr. Tom, Dr. Klincar, it's our pleasure to invite you to provide a brief opening statement. Let us please welcome.
Can I stand out here? Is that all right? Thank you, everybody, because I dance around a lot, and it's just part of my nature. Thank you for welcoming me to St. Louis Community College. That's so heartfelt because nobody's had a chance to beat on me yet. So I'm just absolutely delighted to be here because if you read anything about me, and I certainly hope that you've done that. Mr. Watson, I recognize the picture. I'm from the St. Louis area, and I think of this as a chance to come home. And I'm not going to kid you. The draw to come to St. Louis for me is as powerful as the draw to come to St. Louis Community College. Now, as I said, I grew up here, across the river, but we did everything in St. Louis. Dad worked in McDonnell Douglas Aircraft Corporation. He was a machinist, sheet metal worker. Really excited about the new aerospace programs that you got started up here at John Wood. He came out of the military. Mom was a seamstress. I went to Althoff High School, so if you're part of that parochial school system, we have collided. It's been a few years, and I'm probably not quite as quick as I used to be, but I think St. Louis is where my wife and I are from. It's where our families live. It is where our grandchildren live, and so you can see why. I really want to come here. I don't plan to go anywhere else. Now, I spent 28 years in the United States Air Force. I think you know that because that was in the bio. It was amazing what the bio that got posted didn't say. And I kind of looked there and said, oh, why did they pick this and not that to put on that bio? So this is my chance to tell you a little bit about me. I'll just run through the Air Force thing and try to draw some parallels to education. I started out, I was a communications major coming out of Southern Illinois University at Carbondale. First generation college student. I made it somehow, went to the ROTC program, actually wanted to join the Army, but we didn't have Army ROTC, so I went into the Air Force. They put me into radar operations. Spent the first year of my time in the Air Force up on the Arctic Circle. That was an exciting experience, sort of. Beautiful, gorgeous, breathtaking scenery for the first week. And then it gets really, really old. From there, I went off to be an instructor, vocational training. I taught radar operations. Now, you probably don't have that at St. Louis Community College, although as close as you are to Boeing Corporation, you might. So, but it's teaching technical skills to people. And I love working with students. From there, I went off to the Philippines, earned my doctorate there at De La Salle University as I was an advisor to the Philippine Air Force. Did a few things over there. They had a revolution, all that sort of thing. That's how instead of elections. So, and then having completed the doctorate, and I hope you check out De La Salle University. It's considered the premier institution in the Philippines. Then I went to the Air Force Academy, United States Air Force Academy, and found my calling. Now, I do not have a degree in education administration. Just want you to have full disclosure right up front. And if you think that's the path to the Chancellor's office, just put the X out there right now. Because my degree is a teaching degree. I have a Doctor of Arts. I wanted to be in the classroom with students my whole life. And the United States Air Force Academy, though we do all of the technical subjects, we also have an English department. It's a very good one. And Dad got sick in the Air Force, being a good employer. We have a little installation at Scott Air Force Base, and they moved to Scott Air Force Base so I could take care of Dad. And I'll always be thankful, but it put my career on a different path. And I say my family's are here. Dad, Mom and Dad are in 30 campus career, so part of that was because being in radar operations, being on the operational end of the United States Air Force, we went into war after war. And I don't pick them, I fought them, and I did well. And we did as many humanitarian operations at the same time. Went on through that. Always wanted to get back to education. Found the opportunity, did some high-level stuff. A guy named Wes Clark, who he ran for president. I tell him, boss, you would be president if you can't get the same team as he had at NATO. But doctrine and policy, Scott Air Force Base. Went on to be the Dean of Academic Programs for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, the NATO school. That's in Oberammergau, Germany. Beautiful place, sound of music, Bavarian towns, loved it. Got a phone call, said, we want you to be a commander. We want you to be a president. I said, okay, where? Montgomery, Alabama. I just looked at the phone as I'm looking at the Alpine Mountains and well, I went to Alabama. Community College of the Air Force, wonderful institution. The Air Force is the only one of the military services that operates a community college. We're regionally accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools and college. It varies. Goes up and down several thousand students every day. On average, 320,000 students. We conferred a record number of associate degrees while I was there. Typically 16,000 to 17,000 associate degrees each year. It is a large, complex, unwieldy system. And I'll tell you, I miss the classroom. Trying to get back. From time to time, I guest lecture. I go around giving talks, but never did we capture that feeling. Got kicked upstairs. Ended up being the commander, commandant, commander's Chancellor of all enlisted education in the United States Air Force. And if you find that hard to believe, so did I. Okay? And at the time we had 13 non-commissioned officer academies located geographically dispersed around the world. One senior non-commissioned officer academy that was in Alabama, First Sergeant's Academy, 70 airman leadership schools, resident program, and we were affiliated with Community College of the Air Force, so students received college credit. But our student pool was considerably small. We had 45,000 resident students at our campuses per year and 30,000 taking our online correspondence programs. And we did some neat things. Another large system. Had the opportunity to get closer to the classroom. Went to John Wood Community College and a chance to get closer to home in Quincy, Elementary. Wonderful institution, and I love it. And I want you to make a phone call. So if you feel like, I want to learn more about this guy, and you're from the math department, or you're from the English department, or you're from admissions, or Phi Theta Kappa, or student government, pick up the phone, call the central switch, and say, connect me with, and just ask about that crazy short guy that they call it, okay? And you got my permission. Talk to anybody you want, because I'm so proud of our institution, our faculty, our staff, and our students. They're doing some amazing work. And I know about St. Louis Community College and the amazing work that you're doing right here. Probably a lot of awards came along the way. Okay? Where was that one?